Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and this is Bluefield State University. When I went to college here, it was actually Bluefield State College, not university. Now, you see that I'm taking a right. If I'd have stayed straight, it's a little bit of a gravel and rough road. It would take you to basically all throughout the college campus, just at the bottom of the buildings. You will see it on the video a little bit later in the video. I will do some of the university tour that I'm doing today, the drive here on that little bit of that lower road. But the reason I'm doing the video today is this day in history, November 21st, 1968. A bomb was set off here at Bluefield State. It was set off in the physical education building. Now, back in 1968, the physical education building was new, and it was a $1.6 million building. This bomb was set off in a stairwell, and it actually blew the roof off of the area of that stairwell, damaged some offices, busted out glass in not only that building, but another building where the nurse actually stayed on the premises, and some of the dormitories. So it was at least, from what I've read, 6 to 8 pieces of dynamite. That was how intense the bomb was. And basically, if you look down over the hill here to the left, you'd be able to see the building. You can start to see it there. But I'll point it out later in the video as we're driving back through, because this is going to be a long video of me just driving through Bluefield State. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that because I'm releasing this video on November 21st, and that was when the bomb went off in 1968, November 21st. So I figured I would talk about that a little bit. So, of course, it was the 60s. It was a turbulent time, not only in West Virginia, but all over the United States. We had racial issues, civil rights issues, Vietnam War stuff. People were upset all around the country, and there was a lot of racial issues here with Bluefield State. Bluefield State had been a historically black college, and in the 60s, things had started to change where there were more white people attending college than African Americans. So that was what the main focus of this was about, and why that there was basically the bombing of Bluefield State, or that was believed to have been the thoughts. So they've arrested 4 people, and one of them, I'm just going to talk about the one who was considered the leader of it, and it was Edgar James. Now, in the end, he was basically, I think this was in 1969, totally acquitted for it. He didn't, the charges never went any further. He was arrested, but there was no formal charges ever put up against him. And he had went to college here at Bluefield State, and in fact was becoming a teacher. And he had done some, basically they had to do some teaching, I don't know, kind of like a teacher's aide from what I could gather. And he was doing that at Richlands. He had signed up to do that at the beginning of November at Richlands, and then the bomb happened November 21st. But there was a lot of, people were getting death threats. The president was asked to resign. The death threats said that there could be, they would be happy if there was a bullet in his head. There was death threats to other faculty members, other staff members of the building of the college, and Edgar James was the one person who was basically the leader of this little group, because it wasn't a huge group at Bluefield State that was involved in this, but he had handed a 35 item list of demands which one of the demands was they wanted the principal to, or basically the president to resign. Well, with that happening, that helped to him basically get arrested for the bombing here at Bluefield State. Now, like I said, he was arrested, but he was never formally charged. And honestly, I'm not finding anything as to if anyone was formally charged with the bombing. But anyway, the building was $1.6 million when it was built, and it was the physical education building. And it ended up causing $80,000 worth of damage. Now, at that time, when it happened, there was rumors going around that there was a bomb in the pool. And here in a little bit, I'll be driving back down that little road again, and I'll show you the back side of the physical education building where the pool is. But there was also rumors that there was a bomb in the administration buildings, and there wasn't. So there was only one bomb here at Bluefield State. But due to this, the dormitories were basically shut down. So Bluefield State, when the bomb happened, Bluefield State closed down for a week, but the dormitories did not open back up. And that affected basically people coming to this college from out of state, especially African Americans coming to this college from out of state because they needed a place to stay. There are lots of little articles and stuff to read on the West Virginia archives about this bombing at Bluefield State. And it talks about the Black Power movement that had started here with a few people that were at Bluefield State back in the 1968, and how the president of the college seemed to only think it was maybe 30 to 40 people that were involved or did not agree with what was going on and were maybe a part of the movement, which was considered a small amount according to that there was about 1,400 people enrolled in school at the time here at Bluefield State. But there was a sit-in at the cafeteria. There was basically food thrown at the cafeteria. There was, like I had mentioned before, other things with death threats and letters sent. Now, enough about that for a second. Did you see the train? We're driving right beside the train. I love how we got the train in this video as I'm driving right by it here on this lower road below Bluefield State. And as I'm going to continue straight instead of going back up the hill. I want to show you the bottom side here of the physical education building and where the swimming pool is. I have memories myself coming to Bluefield State. Gosh, I think I was maybe 9 years old and learning to swim in this pool here at Bluefield State, and I loved it. It was, I don't know, I think it was my first indoor pool I had ever swam in. I thought it was really cool. But anyway, this road continues on, and you can continue it on all the way throughout. I'm just going to go just a little bit of it to the bottom here to show you where the pool is located, and then I'm going to turn around and go back through the rest of Bluefield State. So we're going to fast forward a little bit in time because I have a little bit more history. So in 1971, Edgar James had basically put out something like a claim or a lawsuit against Bluefield State because he felt like he needed to graduate. He was in his last semester. He was doing his student teaching at Richlands. Even though he was told that he had not actually done the actual teaching part of it, he had registered at Richlands to do the student teaching part. So it was in like 1971 he filed a suit to be able to graduate to become the teacher. And Bluefield State allowed it, obviously, because he was never, of course he was arrested, but he was never put on trial. The charges were dropped as I guess there was not enough proof for him to have been the one involved in the bombing. Now there was 3 others arrested. Banks, Shannon Banks, Nathaniel Johnson, and gosh, I believe it was a Travis Williams. No, sorry about that. It was a William Travis was his name. They were also arrested after Edgar James, but I do not see anything about them actually going through with a trial or anything there. So I believed the charges were dropped also on them. The FBI did do some investigation on it, but they did not take it any further either. One thing that's really cool to note, even with the bombing, no one was hurt. So it was before Thanksgiving. School was still in session. It wasn't like it was on a break. But luckily, nobody was in the building. There was damage to the third and fourth floor, and like I said, it was near a stairwell. It could have affected some of the coaches' offices because it's in the physical education building. And they're saying that it's luckily nobody was in the building. So that was very good. Nobody was hurt and killed. There actually was somebody hurt, but it was basically from the noise of the bomb. They ended up going to Bluefield Sanitarium for a headache because the noise of the explosion, but they were released. They didn't have to stay at the hospital. So that was what I wanted to tell you all today. I thought, well, I would do another Bluefield State video and drive around and talk to you about the bomb that exploded, since it happened on November 21st and I'm in the area. I thought, well, I can release this video on November 21st. So November 21st, 1968 was when this happened. Now, as you see right now, to the right of me, you can't really see because I'm on the road, but that building right here to the right is the physical education building. And we're just going to circle on down here to the right and just drive on out. We'll be passing by the, the business school over here. It's just around the corner here. There's some cars in the parking lot today. It is a Saturday that I'm driving around, so it's not real busy here at the college. It's a Saturday. There's nothing going on really, so that's why there's not tons of cars everywhere. In the past, I remember when I went to school here, parking is a huge issue at this college. You've seen me down at the bottom of that one parking lot with the huge stairs going up to the basic science building. That's basically the best place to park in this whole area, to walk the campus, because like right here, you'll never find a parking spot. Never, ever, ever. And right now, where they're doing some work down here below to the right, where we entered in, below where the cafeteria and stuff is, the student union, that used to be some parking too, but right now it doesn't exist. So parking is a huge deal, a huge issue at Bluefield State, or at least it was when I went here. I can still see it being an issue. Now, as we're coming to an end of this video, you'll notice that I passed many buildings and didn't talk about them or the history, and that's or more of the history basically. I just talked about the bomb, but I have another Bluefield State video, and it'll be basically listed here at the end for you to take a look at if you'd want to watch another drive through of Bluefield State, where I talk more about the history and different things about the area. This is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. Talk to you all later.